Basil. Basil, get your bed. Hello. Hi guys. So as you can see, I finally figured out my camera. I see the interior of Corgi's home. Yes. I finally figured out my camera. Now, it won't last the whole stream, unfortunately. I still have to get a power cord and figure out, the logistics. Obviously, it's not going to be in frame, all that jazz. But I finally figured out how to get it hooked up so that you guys can see Tosca! So that you guys can finally see close-ups of food when I'm doing things. Silence. Is it quiet? Can you guys not hear me? Can you guys not hear me? I hope you can hear me. If you can't hear me, this is gonna be a long and empty stream, folks. Volume is great. Okay, good. More. You're always messing with me. I knew it. Basil is here. She is here. Come here. Come here. She has her chicken drumstick. This is Basil's chicken drumstick. Come here. Get in your bed. Get in your bed. Get in your bed. Your drumstick? Your drumstick? No, I don't want the drumstick. She wants a jumpy stick. So she was promised. No, stay down. She was promised a treat. Come here. She was promised a treat, so I will give her one. Because she's a good girl. So today, long awaited, we are going to be making fried chicken. I know. It's not healthy. Forget it. Forget about it. Forget about your liver. Forget about your cholesterol. Today we're not worried about that. Today we're worried about your soul. And today we're making fried chicken because fried chicken is good for your soul. And we're doing it the good old-fashioned Southern way. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it the right way. But we're not just doing that. No. I'm also going to be showing you guys apparently the dog needs a water break. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Excuse me. If you could see the look on her face, I'm going to have a puppy cam. It'll be down here eventually. I'm satisfied? Okay. I'm also going to be showing you guys something a little bit more graphic, which you might have seen. How to butcher a chicken. Now, this is important. Everybody needs to know how to butcher a chicken. And I put some feelers out there. If you don't want to see this right away, come back. Keep me tabbed. Let me know. This is life skills. Exactly. This is important. I feel that everybody should at least know how to properly butcher a chicken. Now, it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, it's been a while. But I still remember, refreshed my memory, watched a couple of things. If I need to, I've got the Joy of Cooking cookbook in my cabinet. If I need to, I'll pull it out. It's an antique, literally. My brother bought me the antique cookbook. So I have that. This chicken is actually local. It is from Little Brook Farms. I got it today at the farmer's market. So I showed up today, got it at the farmer's market. It's just a 3 1/4 of a pound. So 3.25 pounds, little chicken. So you guys can see here, it's not that big of a chicken. And the nice thing is people are like, oh, I don't need a whole chicken. That's too much. That's too much of a chicken. I don't need that much of chicken. But it will go and last you probably about 2 weeks. And for 2 people, for me and Ted, it'll last us 2 weeks because when you think about it, chicken's got 2 chicken breasts, 2 drumsticks, 2 wings, 2 thighs, and then the carcass that you can use to make chicken broth. So, in all honesty, it's really going to last you a pretty good time. And you can freeze the chicken broth in your freezer. So you can use that later for stocks, and you can make, chicken noodle soup. So I can give you guys lots of great tips about how long that can last. It can be like 6 meals. Yeah, you can use the thighs to make orange chicken, sesame orange chicken. This chicken, I paid, and it depends, it's pretty cheap. I paid $12. I paid $12 for this chicken, okay? This whole chicken was $12. But you got to think about how much people pay to just have everything already taken apart. And that's like just a pack of just the chicken breast a lot of the times. Yes, $12. And this is a local chicken at a farmer's market. That's it. That's all it was. You got to think about how often people charge for services and labor. So the more times, my brother has taught me this, the more times human hands come into contact with a product, such as vegetables or meat, the more expensive it's going to be. It's a lot cheaper to buy the item whole. So that's something to remember. So I did give Basil a treat, so I'm going to wash my hands real quick, even though this is in the bag. I'm going to wash my hands. Basil, did you leave me? Did you get a treat and run away? Is that all I'm good for you? Treats, get back in here. Come here. She abandoned me. I got your cheeky drumstick. Here. Get your drumstick. She's like, no, I want the actual chicken because she can eat it because there's no onions in it and there's no real garlic. So she's like, I want the chicken. And you can not put garlic powder, which I ain't put garlic powder, but she could eat it. She's like, I want that chicken. Chicken's good for dogs. Give me that chicken. All right. So the first thing we're going to do today, I got enough light going on in here. Trying to make sure I got enough light. Actually, you know what? We're going to move a light just for you guys. Make it a little bit brighter so you can see the chicken. Oh, that's a little bright. Let's see. We're going to try to make it just so. Just so. There we go. Brightness. Brightness for the chicken. See how much better lighting that is just right here. Maybe not so much on my face, but just right here. Okay. So we're gonna recycle the bag. It says number 2 recycle. We're gonna recycle that bag. It can be recycled, folks. So we're gonna recycle it. So that can go to our bag that gets recycled. And when you are doing a whole chicken like this, you're going to need a good, sharp pair of meat scissors. Like I said, the chicken can be brighter. Much better. You're going to need a good knife that you can get, like a boning knife. If you've got a good chef knife or a butcher knife, that's great. If you don't, just a really good, nice, sharp paring knife. Something that you can get into real good. It's going to be good. Hi, Mom! Everybody say hi to Kate Cricket. That's my mom. And y'all going to have to bear with me. I'm getting used to this. I tried to make sure that the cutting board was in the cam view so that I could pay attention to where everything was. So it's going to take me a little bit of getting used to this little view here. Hey, Toss, I appreciate, man. I appreciate that you're here. All right, so we've got our little chicken going on here. All right. So first thing I'm gonna do She's got it in a nice, lovely little bag for me. So I'm going to get it out of this bag, and more than likely there's going to be some juice in this bag. So I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it over the garbage can real firmly. Just kind of tip it out. It's dripping. You could retain that onto a sheet pan for your stock, but I don't necessarily need that. That's probably more so just some condensation and some stuff from maybe where she got done butchering the chicken and just the frozenness. KK Cricket, my mama. All right. So we're just going to get this chicken out of there. Make it splash. Alright. Now, I have chicken hands. Anything I touch is going to be my chicken stuff. I have a pan over here with aluminum foil. And that's where I'm going to put anything that I cut off of my chicken onto. So that way, when I'm done cutting, I've got my chicken. So you can see here, we got the neck. Oh! Some people like necks. Not a big fan. Don't really care. Murder the chicken. Yes, I'm going to be murdering. You see we got the wings. A little frightening, I know. But you got to think, guys, it's all part of life, okay? You got the legs. Just got to have fun with it, okay? Because if you don't have fun in the kitchen, especially when you're doing chicken, you might get kind of grossed out. So you got to have a little bit of fun with it. If you're not having fun playing with your food, especially when you're doing this, you're going to have a little bit of a rough time. Now, when it comes to butchering a chicken, you can do it a couple different ways. There's a smash version. There's a couple different things, but what we're going to start with is we're going to start with separating the tissue. So you can see we've got some little bitty fatty guys here in between the legs. And what we're going to do is we're just going to snip this with our scissors, just so we can get this torn, just to get the legs separated out and away from the middle bit here. See how that just kind of came out, and you hear a pop. I already popped that a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it pop on this next one. I'll try to be real quiet. Hear it, just the tiniest little pop. What we're trying to do, we're popping that hip bone. We're dislocating the socket. See the pop? There's the pop. Okay? So we've dislocated that pop on that hip bone there. Okay? So now the hips, it's squeaking. Yeah, it still has the neck. That neck is on there. Now I'm not going to chop off the neck. I mean, I could chop it off, but I'm just going to leave it on there because I'm going to roast the carcass in the oven at 425 for about 30, maybe 25, 30 minutes, get a nice good and brown before putting it into a crock pot to make my stock. All right, so we got that going on. So we're going to turn this back around, and we're going to actually go for the wings here. So what we're going to do is we're just kind of making sure it pops. So we're just kind of going for this little bit of a pop here. So got a little bit of pop. A little bit of pop. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to grab our knife, and we're just going to start cutting in this tissue right in between here. And we're just cutting right in between. You'll see the little bit of the breast meat from underneath here on the opposite side. And you'll see this little joint tissue area. Okay? We're cutting right in between there. Right into the bone. Okay? And you're going to not move your knife, you're going to move the chicken. So the goal here is you make the chicken do the work for you. You don't do the work. You make the chicken do the work. Okay? That's the best part about it. You make that chicken do all that work for you. All right, we're going to cut right in here. Bring it with us. Get all that fat area there. And the nice part is if you've ever eaten one of these, you'll kind of just know where to cut based off of the meat area. So that's one of the nice things. And my parents are going, she don't eat wings. What? How's she gonna know where to cut? Well, I don't eat wings. I'm not a wing person. But my husband likes wings. Okay, so right here, you've got the winglet, drumlet, and you can see right in here, there's this little space. I'm just gonna cut right in there. And we're gonna just pop it. All right. Got some good connective tissue. And just cuts right on through. Okay? There's your bean. And some people like to keep these on there. You can break it off and put it in a stock pot. Some people like to keep these. You can break it off, put it in the stock pot. But I'm going to put it over on our tray. So that's one wing. Now we're going to go over to the other wing. Again, we're just going to follow around with the socket. Moving the chicken. Make the chicken do the work. Make it do the work for you. Follow that fat line. Okay. Do that pop. And just down. Okay. There's the other wing. All right, so we got two wings done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the legs. Okay. So one of the best things to do is to turn it on its back here so you can see the meat on the inside here. And just go ahead and separate the little areas in the tendon here. Okay. It's a lot easier if you can just see it and separate along the lines. And you can just see that kind of tissue. You can see the wishbone in there. Wishbone's in there. And you can see its little rib cage. What I like to do is turn it around like this and just push down. See that crack? It just cracks right on in. So it just separates the legs right from the top. So now you got the top half and its legs. So you just use your knife and separate right on in there. So now you got your bottom legs and your top half. Okay? Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. So now we got to separate our drumsticks from our thighs and then our thigh bone from our thigh meat. But before we do that, we're going to go back over here to the carcass area and get our lovely chicken breast because that's one of the most favored cuts of meat here. So one of the best ways to do this is to kind of just cut straight down the center here and kind of doing like a little bit of a V because there's a little piece of cartilage right down the center and that's not very tasty. You don't want cartilage, but you do want, you know, all this nice fat and skin and everything. So one of the best ways to do this is to kind of grab the neck, which is why I didn't really chop the neck off. so that you get a good, because if it's, it's going to kind of flop a little bit side to side here. So if you grab that neck, you can get your finger in here and get a hold of it real good. Put your finger in the rib cage, because you're not going to go through. You're just kind of doing a little bit of a scoring here, so you can kind of get that cartilage piece out. Okay? Because you know it's in there, and you can feel it with your fingers once you get in there. And then now you can come back around and see where this fat line is. And you can see where this fat line is. And this fat line is your guideline of where to cut with the chicken. So you just kind of cut along that fat line. And just keep cutting down all the way in. Come back up here, cut down, and you'll meet yourself in the middle there. Cut off the top. Get that skin detached. Cut off that skin, and there's your chicken breast. You can trim your fat. If you don't want your skin on there, you can trim your skin off. And this is the rib meat. So you can see here your chicken breast, and there's your rib meat. Chicken breast, rib meat. Now some people, when you get chicken tenders from the butcher and things like that, that's just rib meat. And then there's your chicken breast. And then there's your skin on top. Now skin, you can always cook down and render out, make some nice schmutz, which is good chicken fat. So I'm going to set that one aside. Go over here and cut this extra little piece here. This does have that cartilage in it, but you can also cut this out. This would also be considered a nice chicken tender. Okay? So we're going to cut through here, cut that out. Got a nice another tender in there. Okay? Now we're going to go to the other side. Follow that fat line. All the way right up next to the ribs. And try to get that second tender this time. Okay? Back up. And cutting away. And it's slimy. If you don't like slimy things, then probably best to just get it from the butcher. If you don't mind slimy things, then this is fun. Now the skin came off with this one. I'm fine with that. We typically like to have our chicken breast without the skin. So totally fine like that. And again, there's another tender. I'm going to go ahead and cut the rib meat off of that. And there's our beautiful chicken breast, just like you'd find in the store. Now a lot of times you'd find one of these chicken breasts and another chicken breast. Both of them would be $12. This whole chicken is $12 on its own. So now we're left with the carcass. It's got lots of nice fat. It's got the neck. We're not throwing this away, guys. We're going to keep this, okay? We're going to be using this to make a lovely stock, so we can make some chicken stock with the bones and everything. We're going to roast it on this pan. It's going to be delicious. But we're going to bring it back to our wings. So we still got our wings going on here, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to kind of pull back and follow the fat line again. See the fat line? And we're just going to cut around that fat line. Oh, and that is the end of the camera. Well, guys, it was nice while it lasted. I am sorry. We were doing so good. So I've got to get a power cord for it. Maybe I can get my lovely assistant to come and help. Hey, Ted? All right, so I cut around the fat line, and now I'm just bending that bone back Gotta hear it pop. So I can cut it around. And cut right on through that tendon. Okay? Cut right on through it. So now you got a drumstick. Okay? We're just going to follow that fat line all the way through on the other one as well. Better fix it with your salmonella hands. Yeah, no, I'm not touching that camera. So what it is the camera cutting along the fat line. The camera, the battery probably died. What I did is I charged it to full battery. I did all the battery is all I had. And I set it to stay on. Which I feel like it should have stayed on longer, to be honest. I set it to on so that it wouldn't turn off by auto. So it must have used all its battery already, which is insane when you think about it. That's going to be a little concerning now when I think about it for my my trips that I got to be doing here soon for my thesis. All right, so I did my little pop with the bone, and I'm just cutting through the cartilage. Another drumstick. Okay. So now we've got the thigh meat. The thigh meat. Hey, Ted, I need your assistance, please. I need your assistance, please. My husband, folks. He said, that's not good. All right, I need you to tilt my laptop screen down because my camera died. Down, 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 going down, down, down. Yeah, that's good. Thank you, sir. Big round of applause, everybody, for Ted. Woo! All right, so we've got it down here. Butchered everything else. All we got left here is our lovely thighs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cut around this middle bone, right around this outer edge. Kind of cutting around this little hip. If you think about like you had a pelvic bone area, you're just kind of cutting it out. And you can see the little lollipop of a hip bone sticking out here. We're going to cut that out too here in a minute. Okay? I bet you know how people have like certain noises that make them, oh, these are the noises. Yeah, my mom said, yay, Ted! All right, so we're going to pop this out. Pop out that hip bone. Pop this out, pop that hip bone out. And now we're just going to cut along. The hip. It's not being very conductive for me here. There we go. Turn this over. And pull it back. And cut it down. Okay? So now we have the thigh meat with the bone in it. And we're just going to hold on to the bone. Pull it back. And slice the bone out of it. Slice to the side. Slice the bone right out. Mama, when was the last time you butchered a chicken? With Gigi? I want to know, how many years has it been since you butchered your chicken, Mom? Might take her a minute to think. Let's see if she responds. I need some sharper knives for this, that's for certain. Okay. Oh, out to my mom. That was so nice of you. Thank you. We're also going to cut out any tendons in here that we don't want. But there is our thigh meat. Cut out that excess fat. I don't really want that fat there. All right. And then this bone, I'm just going to pop it right on in with my carcass meat. And there is our thigh meat. We're going to go to the other thigh leg. And we're going to trim along the side. Making sure to get that upper little area there. That's some good meat. Okay. And cut across. There we go. And then we put the lower half also with our stuff for our stock. Mom, seriously? I thought for sure you've cut up a chicken, Mom. Alright, so we're just going to score next to each side of the bone, around the hip bone. Going to slice right underneath it. Honestly, the hardest part is this part. This is the hardest part, and I really wish the camera hadn't died on me, because this is the messy part. This is the part where if you're really intimidated, I'd say buy it from the store. If you're not really good with knives, I'd say get it from the store as well. Because thigh meat, there are a lot of recipes that call for like lots of thigh meat. Some people are kind of like, well, am I just going to just buy, so many chicken? John Reeves, you missed it, John. We had a second camera going over in this side of the screen, and it died on us. Our first day trying it out. We're gonna get a power cord. We're gonna get a power cord for this camera, and we're gonna utilize it often. All right, getting the last bone out of the thigh meat. There's the last bone. We're gonna put it with our carcass so that we can make our stock. And we're going to cut out any last bit of cartilage in our thigh meat here. Alrighty. Running our fingers through, make sure there's not any. Thank you, sad girl, for the Alright, so we got 2 thigh meats. 2 wings, 2 drumsticks, 2 chicken breasts, one with the skin fell off, and then we got some extra little pieces of rib meat that came off there, as well as our lovely carcass with the neck. Alright, so now we got our cutting board, our meat scissors. We ended up not even using the big butcher knife, did just fine with our lovely longer knife here, did just great with it with our deboning knife. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cutting board and put it in the sink and wash my little hands because I'm covered in lots of chicken germiness. Chicken germs! Are you in your bed being a good girl? Basil, are you a good girl? Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. I don't know about you guys, but it looks like it's about to storm here. All right. Get all that gunk out from under your nails. Chicken guts. Ew. All right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hello, hello, hello. Do I have a favorite knife? I do, and I didn't even use it with this. Mr. Basil. Mr. Basil. Such a sweetie. Such a sweetie. So there is all our lovely deboned, not deboned, well, some of it's deboned, our lovely butchered chicken. And now we move on to everybody's favorite part. Breading and marinating chicken. Now, I did decide to go ahead and basil, marinate some chicken last night. So I took some chicken breast, cut them up, and put them in a marinating bag, put it in the fridge, and let it sit overnight. Now you can do that overnight or up to 4 hours, 4 hours beforehand. Or you can go ahead and make a batch and bread them, fry them, put them in the freezer. You can also do that. I did have time to post the recipe, so it is on the Discord. Come on, wake up. Woo! It's me dropping my mess. So let me pull up here real quick. Okay. Yeah, so it is on the Discord, so I did make sure that you guys do have the recipe. So you guys do have the fried chicken recipe up on the Discord. So you guys are able to view that. So we got our chicken, and one of the great things about this too is you can use all parts of this chicken. None of this chicken is going to go to waste. You're not going to be throwing away any part of this chicken. You're going to use it all. And that's one of the great things about it. You know, if you're going to buy it, you're going to use it. And I think that's fantastic. So, ain't gonna worry about it. Alright, so what we're gonna do first is I'm actually going to use these chicken breasts, and I think I'm gonna do the wings, because I think Ted might like to have some breaded wings. Maybe we can make him some hot wings tomorrow. We can use this breaded chicken recipe for my buttermilk fried chicken. And then you can toss them in like hot sauce or whatever kind of dressing and things you want to do. So it does work with that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make the wet marinade. And I'm going to do that in a plastic baggie. But I do got to get my buttermilk out of the fridge. And get me a bottle of water because I'm thirsty, y'all. And here's my chicken from last night that was marinating in the fridge. Get me a drink real quick. Y'all gotta hydrate. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright. Thought it was about just the right perspective on this. See if I can get this just... Oh my goodness. Why am I not using the mouse? Y'all gotta catch me when I'm doing things that are silly. Yes, it is really, really good. You know, and I think it's always when something isn't good for you, it's more delicious. I think that always applies, to be completely honest. I wonder why, if this really is dead. I don't think it's dead. Now that my hands are clean. It's not dead! It lied to us, guys! Oh my gosh. I should have just had him turn it off and back on. So, it wasn't dead. It was just angry. Rip. Yeah, I know. Rip and pepperonis. Jeez. I should have just had Ted come and turn it off and back on. Well, you live and you learn. We'll just continue on. You know, that's part of life. You know, you gotta learn. You gotta deal with things. I'm sure it's just, I think it's just angry. I have it set to not turn off. I do. I have it set not to turn off. But maybe even after so long, it still just gets mad. So I guess I'll just have to work on it. That might just be something I'll have to deal with. Alrighty. Let's get in here. We're going to move this chicken over. Excuse me. And we're going to move on. And I forgot one thing. Of course. I always forget something. I feel like I need a tally for the number. Tally needs a tally. All right. There we go. A siefta. All right. So we have our dry ingredients and we have our wet ingredients. So for the wet ingredients, you're gonna put your stuff in a bag, right? And what you're going to do, you're going to put that back in a bowl, so that way you can put the bowl into the fridge. I can't seem to get anything right today. Technical difficulties, people. It's a learning process. You look so bored, but you're such a good girl. Laying in your bed. You're such a good girl. All right. You guys are gonna need your chicken that you want to use. You're also gonna end up gonna have to get my hands dirty again. I just know it. It's never ending. But we're gonna go ahead and put our mix in here. So we're gonna end up needing a cup of buttermilk. So I'm just gonna measure out a cup of buttermilk. And we're just gonna pour in a cup of buttermilk here. The show must go on. Now, if this dies and this dies, I don't know what to tell you guys. It would be like a blackout show, and all you'd be hearing is my voice. So that would be a little hard to do a cooking show with no video. Thoughts, concerns. It would be interesting to do me blindfolded and trying to do stuff. That would be dangerous. Maybe I could do one where Ted's my hands, if I could get him to get involved. Plastic into chicken. You are being a little... Watch it, sir. Well, it's a good... Now, if you had a great lid, my problem is that right now, every single one of my containers is occupied. Otherwise, I would gladly use a container to marinate my chicken. If you have a container that you can put a lid on, please, in the name of all creatures and wildlife and fish, use a container. Use a container. But I, unfortunately, do not have a container that I can use. All of my containers are dirty, so that's why I'm using a Ziploc bag. It's easy to mix it. If you have a container, you put the lid on and you shake it. But I do not have a clean container. All my containers are in the dishwasher or occupied in the fridge with leftovers because we cook so much. So, Mom, I need some containers. I might be raiding your house again. Okay, so we're going to be adding our seasoning in here. So we're going to need our measuring spoons. We are going to need some cayenne pepper. Cayenne. We're going to be needing garlic powder. We're going to be needing some paprika. We're going to need some kind of chili powder or smoked chili powder. I use some ancho chili powder and some regular chili powder, but honestly, you use what spices you've got and what's in your cabinet. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you have available, whatever you think is going to taste good on your chicken, use it. You know, I've seen people even put cinnamon on their chicken. It's not for me, works for them, whatever makes them happy. But, alright, we're also going to need some salt. So the first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. What I like to do is I like to roll the edges of my bag over if I'm doing a bag, because it just kind of opens it up more. It keeps it nice and round for me. I don't like opening the salt lids. Does it matter if you use chili flakes? Well, you can use chili flakes. Now, if you're doing it in the marinade, chili flakes would work because it would allow the milk to grab on to the hotness of the chili flakes, allow that hot flavor to soak in. They wouldn't so much as attach to them before the breading, which would be good. That way you could have the nice spiciness of the chili flakes without having to have the whole chili flake attached to the chicken. Or if you like really hot, spicy food, you could do that as well. You know, whatever you like for it, you go for it. So yeah, you could definitely do that. If you like powder, powder's more potent. I find that this chili powder isn't as potent, but I don't use as much. I use a very little amount. So we're going to end up doing 1.5 teaspoons. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my salt in here. There's 1. Here is 1/2. And they're kind of like heaping, which is fine. Alright, and then we are going to do 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. And I like to do this because I feel like it adds a nice heat, a little bit of a bite to the chicken. And this chicken with this flavoring profile is really good with chicken and waffles. Okay. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. A 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. And then I do kind of like 1/8 of ancho chili and then like 1/8 of chili powder. So I kind of do like 1/2 and 1/2. I just kind of look at it to where it's kind of like 1/2 of it. All right. And then that's it. That's all I'm putting in there for the marinade, except for the chicken. Chicken's obviously got to go in there. So, what I'm going to do is just going to set that aside. Put on the spices aside. Come back over here. Grab my chicken, and we're going to pull the skin off of the chicken breast. We're going to set that aside because we can render that down. And I'm just going to slice it into more like chicken tenders. Because I feel like they plump up really good in the batter and in the oil. I'm trying not to slice through my aluminum foil. I feel like they plump up really good in the batter and in the oil. And that makes really good for sandwiches or just eating them on their own. Alright, so now what I'm going to do I slice it in half. Whoop. Getting good here. Do as I say, not as I do. Use your cutting boards, not aluminum foil on a pan. Unless, of course, that's all you got, then, you know. Let's just go ahead and cut this guy. He'll be fine. There we go. Like some skinny ones. Hi, buddy. What's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, I've never seen you. Now you've seen me. Haven't heard from you in a while. So we're just slicing this chicken breast in half. Getting off some rib meat. Making some chicken tenders. Doing it in a very dangerous fashion, I know. Normally I'm not doing it this dangerously, I promise. I have vouchers, even though right now they're feeling extra salty and spicy today. Alright, chicken. Stop being defiling. There we go. Alright, last big piece. We're just going to cut you down. Alright. Now we got lots of nice chicken tenders. And then we've got these wing bits. So these guys, we're going to pop it back. You'll be able to see in there. He's not going to want that. There we go. I don't know why I didn't just do this earlier when I had the cutting board out. Nah, having the cutting board out would have been so easy. Why would I do this at the easier part? Heaven forbid. I don't normally use a knife so dangerously, only when I'm live so you guys can, you know, see me cut like a noob trying to lose my finger. Yeah, I know. Alright. I'll stop being a nitwit and go back and grab my cutting board. Not good. Not good practice to act like a fool. Can't have people popping in unannounced, watching me be dangerous. Alright. I'm going to do this and do it properly. Alright. You're right, Morph. You're right. Alright. Cut around the joint. We're going to pop it. I'm just going to kind of tear it a little bit. And you're going to get right in between there. Kind of hear it squeak. It's like it's alive. Ooh! And you're going to cut that cartilage. And then it becomes a lot easier to get apart. Okay? And you got your little wingtip. And then you're going to do that to this one. Wingtip. Now you got your wings. Alright, so now we got wings, we got wing tips, we got our other meat, we've got another bag. I know, I'm sorry. Got a paper towel. Just gonna grab my chickeny hands for a half second and put my other meat in here just so I can put it in the fridge. So that way it's not sitting out on the counter for a while. So I'm just gonna put my other meat in here along with my carcass. And then I can roast my carcass after I get done showing you guys how to cook today. Because I will be doing that. Alright. Alright. Gonna grab this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Washing our hands to get clean. 'Cause I'm crazy for cutting the chicken. Not safely using the proper technique. Yeah, I know. I know, Maisie. I know. Your mom is crazy. Your mom is crazy. Your mom is crazy. I'm crazy. And keep it clean. Alright. So now we got this. We're going to grab some towels. Just keep our hands clean because I don't want to deal with it. And we're just going to plop them in the bag so that they can marinate overnight. Yes, I did just close a Ziploc with one hand. It can be done. Whoever told you you can't do impossible things has never said, hey, break a hand and then learn how to do everything with one hand. So, alright, so now it's closed. And we're just gonna mix this up. Give it just a good squishing. Sounds awful. Well, you know, it's supposed to. It's supposed to. Alright, so now you put this in a bowl like that. And you put it in the fridge. I already have a bowl in here from where I had the other chicken. I'll put it in that bowl. And then now, we have this bowl, which is still clean because we didn't drip anything down in it, so it's perfectly fine. This is a little bit questionable of a work area. So what I'm going to do real quick, so I'm going to get my cleaner and clean it off. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Gotta keep your work surface nice and clean. Sanitary, folks. Sanitary. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on, not my oven, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oil on. So it can start heating up. I have that in a Dutch oven. And we're going to go ahead and start with our breading mixture. It says, remember, I had some sitting in a little bitty bag overnight, marinating. So now we're going to do our breading. And of course, I have to go get measuring utensils again. So, wouldn't be me if I didn't have, everything just out of reach. All right, so we're going to need 1.5 cups of flour. We're going to use a knife to level out the flour on the top here. We're going to pull back and then push forward. We have a nice, good amount. And I like to use all-purpose unbleached flour. Okay. Got a little bit of flour on the counter. It's not that big a deal. It'll be all right. It's just flour. Just rub it in. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. All right. And then now what we're gonna need is 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And we use this clean paper towel over here. Wipe out my teaspoons from earlier. Was that a big yawn? Were you yawning? Are you yawning? Yeah, you're a yawner. Okay. Okay. And the baking powder, though I did forget to mention this to John, the baking powder does help give it a nice, light, crispy texture. So we're going to end up using 1.5 teaspoons. So we're going to pull it in and level it up across the top. That's why I like to use the aluminum foil pullback to kind of keep it on the lid as my nice little leveling point. So there's 1.5. And I'm not going to sift this all down just yet. I'm going to wait until I got all my seasoning and everything in there. So it's all nice and sifted together. Okay, we're going to do 1 heaping teaspoon of salt. Okay. We're going to do 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And I like to crack mine. One of the ways I do this is because I like to use fresh cracked pepper. I still got some seasoning in here. It's hard to sometimes measure fresh cracked pepper. So I think it tastes better when you crack it on your own. So what I do is I get like a little bowl or, You're leaving me. Don't leave me. I'm in the middle of talking. That's rude. You're just going to leave me? I'm not even done making chicken yet. Just going to crack it into my lovely little mortar and pestle. And the nice thing about it is if I put too much in here, then I can just grab it out of the mortar and pestle and use it for seasoning on other things later. Because I love pepper. Okay. And I need about 3/4 of a teaspoon. If you get a little bit more, that's okay. So I've got a teaspoon here. Just using my fingers. That's about 3/4 of a teaspoon. So. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to add the other ones. So we're going to add garlic powder and paprika. And we're not going to add the cayenne or the chili powder. Now you could if you wanted to. I think that the chicken absorbs the garlic. That sun is beaming. Goodness, I just now noticed that. That sun was coming down, rays of sunshine. I don't think you really need to add the extra cayenne. I think it comes and soaks into the chicken in and of itself, in the juices. When you bite into it, you get that nice heat and kick. If you add it in the breading, it's almost kind of like overload. Now with wings and stuff, that could be really good and delicious. But I might do that tomorrow when I make the breading for Ted. But with this one, I think I'll just keep it as is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a 3/4 of a teaspoon of paprika and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. So it's about 3/4. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sift this all down. So now here comes the trick. And it looks like there's only 4 of you guys here. So you guys get to learn the famous trick. So here's how all of this stuff, all these famous chicken makers and restaurants and everybody that you see, even the ones you buy frozen, how they get their breading like this. Everybody's always like, well, how do they do this? I don't understand how their breading is like this. I can't get mine like that at home. I'm about to show you the trick. Okay? And it's actually so simple, you'll be like, well, why did I never know this? Okay? I'm going to get a fork. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add 3 tablespoons of buttermilk straight into my dry breading right here. So 1, 2, 3, and I did a little bit more. Kind of happy coming out. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of whisk it around in here until it's nice and clumpy. You're probably thinking, what? But this is how you do it. And that's what gives you all the lovely breading texture. You don't want a lot of big clumps, but you want some clumps. And that's what gives you your breading texture on your chicken. That's the secret. That's what it's been all this time. And nobody told you. It's crazy what you learn. You need to pull that off your fork maybe. I'll just keep mixing it through there. It's nice and clumpy. You might need to add a little bit more flour depending on how much chicken you used. If you're doing a lot of chicken, you might need to double your breading. If you have big, thick chicken breasts, you might need to do some more flour. It just depends on the size. But typically with about 2 pounds, you're usually pretty good. My oil's popping. That's really strange. That with a little bit of water and flour. I think it's okay. All right. So since we've already gotten, we had raw chicken on our little, we just keep hearing pops, and I'm just like, okay. Raw chicken on our plate over here. We're going to be just fine. You guys are awfully quiet. The last thing I got was that sounds awful. And then silence. Let me know you guys are alive out there. Send me some emojis or something. Look, it's really dark in here. Now there's only 3 of y'all! What's going on? Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our chicken and we're going to put it... Oh no! The camera went dead again! No! Well, luckily I didn't start breading yet. Didn't start breading just yet. We'll make it work. We'll make it do what we want it to do. We're going to say, hey, listen up, camera. You're going to do what we want you to do. So when we get the nice power cord, this won't happen. So that'll be really nice. Okay. So we got this going on, this over here. And we're going to put it on the pan when we're done. Ooh, I bet that was loud. Yes, my mother is there. Thank you for sticking around, Mama. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. So we got our nice, chunky flour. It almost kind of looks like Rice Krispie cereal a little bit. It almost kind of looks like Rice Krispie cereal a little bit. Like the bottom of the bag of Rice Krispie cereal. Okay. So we're going to grab our chicken. We're going to use, you can use some tongs, or you can do wet hand, dry hand. I took my rings off already today in preparation for all of the chicken gutting and breading that I was going to be doing, because I knew right ahead I was going to be doing this, Mom. Alright, so we're going to pull this chicken out, and we're going to drip one already right down in there. We're just going to use the fork, kind of cover it, press it down, make sure it's good and pressed in there. You can use your hands too. Hey, give it a shimmy shake, press over, press down. And give it a shimmy shake. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like that. Big old chunky guy. And then we're just going to put them on the pan just like that and let it rest. Since we already had chicken guts on this pan, it's going to get fried. Whatever germs or anything from the chicken's going to get cooked. Even though it was 2 different chickens. It's totally fine. Okay? We'll grab our next one. And I can tell you right now, guys, this smells so good, just pulling it straight out of the batter here. Smells amazing. All those spices, that paprika, garlic, mixed in with that buttermilk. Oh, it smells so good. So good. Flip it around. Press that in there. Make sure you're getting in all those little joints and crevices and things like that. Give it a little shimmy shake. And put it on the pan to rest. And give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to hover over here. Make sure that we're not getting too hot on the oil. If we are, we'll turn it down. Okay. Next one. And we're just going to keep following the pattern here. We're just going to keep going off and breading our chicken. So what is everybody's favorite chicken place? Ted likes Chick-fil-A. My parents, and he also likes Zaxby's. My parents really seem to like KFC, but they also like to eat like Cracker Barrel, like on the Sunday Cracker Barrel chicken. Theirs is pretty good. Their Sunday chicken. I like Zaxby's. I also like my chicken. So far, out of all the fried chicken places versus my home fried chicken, I will say I actually like mine better. I'm not trying to boast, just being honest. I mean, Zaxby's is pretty good, but once you have also the satisfaction of making your own fried chicken, it's pretty good. My grandmother used to make a really delicious fried chicken. She passed away earlier this year. I don't know if anybody ever wrote down that recipe or not. All right, sad girl, I appreciate it. I think you said you guys are making sushi tonight. Enjoy. It'll be delicious. All right, so we're just going to continue to bread this chicken. And we're almost done. We didn't make too many here. I just wanted to have a couple of pieces for me and Ted to eat for dinner. And just enough. What we'll also do is we'll pop some. I have some fries that I've cut that are in the freezer. Pop those out and we'll fry them too. So we've got some French fries and chicken. So we can just eat them together. They cook so fast. Okay. That fork does not want to help anymore. It's just sliding every time I set it aside. It's just think every time. Think. You don't think the recipe was written down? That's a shame, Mama. That's a shame. I think if anybody would have had it, it would have been Cheryl. Squirrely. If anybody would have had it written down. Alrighty. Is that the last one? Yep, that's the last one. Okay. Go. That fork does not want to have it. That fork's like, no, I'm coming to get you. So Tennessee plays football tonight. My parents are excited. We're originally from Tennessee, so they love watching Tennessee football. And it's like, you know, win or fail. We've always been big on watching Tennessee football games. And I went to go maybe like be like, oh, maybe I should put a Tennessee football shirt on, you know, let Dad know I'm watching, supporting the team. All of my Tennessee shirts are at their house. Every last one of them. The only thing I have here is the jersey, and it's too small for me, so I gave it to Ted, so it's on his side of the closet. All right, last one. Okay, so I have a clean, wet hand, and a dirty hand. Wet hand, dirty hand, wet hand, dirty hand. So I'm going to go over to the sink, and I'm going to go wash my hands. Basil, you left your bed. You abandoned me. Right at your snack time, too. Oh, I'm so ashamed of you, Basil. So ashamed. She abandoned me, everyone. I've been abandoned. Alright. So I'm looking over here at our oil, and it is too hot, so I'm just going to add a little bit of cold, regular oil into it to help drop that temperature down. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you guys as be right back, play some fun music, and get my camera set around for frying. Alright, guys. Alrighty. Let's see how we're gonna do this, guys. So, try to set up the camera. And let me get Steve going here for a second. I guess it's frozen. I don't know. A little bit weird, but you get to stare at the old batter bowl. I tried to get it fixed up a little bit so you could see it, but the battery is running low finally, so. But we made it through the breading, we made it through all of that. This is going to be a little bit more of a complicated setup. We're going to have a longer cord when we get ready for that time frame. And as you can see, it's a little difficult to cook if I had a camera like right here, or even right here, or even right here. I mean, and I'm still going to have a cord running to that computer. So it's going to be a process of figuring it out from here on out. That's going to be something that's going to be a learning curve, and that's something we're going to have to figure out along the way. I've been lucky up to this point that I've been able to make everything run as smoothly as I have. This image is bothering me. I know I shouldn't let this image bother me. but it is bothering me. I can't let it bother me, but I gotta fix it. Gotta fix it. So I'm gonna fix it real quick. I'm gonna change it to something else. So you guys watch me struggle. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. We're waiting also for the oil to drop down a little bit to the correct temperature. We don't want it too hot. We want to get our oil at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a handy thermometer currently in the oil right now. So what I want it to do is I want it to be at just the right temperature. If it's too hot, it's going to cook the outside a little too fast and not cook the inside just right. If it's too cold, it's going to not quite cook it as much, and then it's going to retain too much oil. So we want it to be right at 350, so that way it can be at the ideal temperature for cooking. All right, so right now what I'm doing is I'm actually searching my computer for a lovely little image of what the fried chicken's going to look like when it's done. So that way you guys can be staring at that in the bottom right-hand corner instead of just some nice black space, because it's at least going to be a little minute. So I'm going to do that instead. There we go. So at least that way, it's what we call live editing here. This is live editing. In case you've ever wondered what it's like to do anything on Twitch, this is what it's like. This is how I'm going to cover my face real quick and get everything out of my face. So this is what it's like. Chicken. That's a little bit better, I guess. Okay. Back to the show. Back to the reason that you guys are here. We are going to make this chicken. This chicken. But it's right here below me. So, alright. We're going to save this out. Go back in here. Kind of lurking now. That's okay. Totally fine. Alright. So we've got our oil. Right now it's about at 360, which is okay. So as soon as we put this chicken in, it's going to drop the temperature down on us a little bit, which is typical. It's very typical. It's typical. It's typical. Whenever you drop food into hot oil, it typically is going to drop in temperature a little bit. I'm going to move my anti-fatigue mat because I have fatigue with my feet. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, so we've got our tongs to drop in, and we've got our nice little ladle to pull out. Unfortunately, the sound's going to get a little worse because we need to pull up that oil. We need to pull up that oil and any of the fumes that are coming off here. So we're just going to start off. We're going to grab our chicken. Trying. It's angry. It didn't want to. My computer's like. This is all a process. Hopefully, you don't hear a loud bang noise in a second. I'm using a giant plastic container that we put our taco. Here we go. That we put our tortillas in. Okay. So, chicken. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab it, gently drop it in there. Try not to overcrowd it. Maybe do about like 3. I'm putting about 3 in here at this one. 2 small ones and a medium-sized one here. And I'm going to do my timer for about 3 minutes. May or may not take that long. But what we're going to be looking for is a golden color. We're going to flip it halfway through. While it's doing that, I'm going to turn around and grab my freezer, grab my French fries that I've previously done and put in the freezer. I'm just going to kind of move my chicken, make sure they're not necessarily touching. A lot of times they like to kind of glue together a little bit. Oh, it already smells so good. My oil temperature dropped, so I'm going to increase my temperature on my stove. You want to make sure that your oil temperature is right at 350. That's why having a thermometer is very handy when you're frying, because your oil temperature is going to drop when you're cooking, and you really want to have that ideal temperature level of 350. Oh, now you decide to come back. Well, hello, little basil. Go ahead and flip it. See if that's good. Nope, we're going to let it stay back on that underneath real quick. Just kind of testing it out. I'm going to grab my water. We need to get a filtration system. The water at our house is not good. My Kay Cricket can attest to this. The water is not good. We need a filtration system. Alright, now I'm going to try flipping it here. And a lot of the times when you're frying chicken, you're looking for a golden brown, but if it's already like the perfect golden brown, it's probably too dark. When you're frying chicken, if it's already the dark color you think it is in the oil, it's probably too dark. Sometimes you got to take it out and put it on the towel to see the color to make sure you've got it at the right color. But you are looking for, some deep pops. If it's the first time you're frying chicken, maybe cut up one of your pieces of chicken and look at the inside. You could do a small piece as a test piece. Let it be your first piece you fry. See how it cooks. Cut it in half. Check the inside. See when you're squeezing it, are you getting any extra white juice coming out? If you see white juice coming out, it's not cooked yet. Okay, so I cooked that for about 3 minutes. I'm thinking maybe a little bit longer, because my oil temperature did drop. Maybe just a couple more seconds. My oil temperature dropped significantly. So it was at 360, and it dropped down to 320. So it dropped significantly when I put that cold chicken down in there. And I'm frying in peanut oil. That's what we like to fry our chicken in. I think it just adds a nice flavor profile. You can also fry in vegetable oil. So you can see in this picture, I have to remember this opposite. You can see in this picture right here, that's the color that we're looking for when we're finished. It looks a little bit lighter in that one. Alright, I'm going to pull this out. See, it looks nice and golden. We're going to let that rest. See, it's got those nice little crispy tender bits. Nice crispy tenders. That's what we're looking for. Alright. We're going to let our oil temperature rise back up because it did drop. We want to make sure that we've got the correct ideal temperature for our oil. So I need to figure out what I'm going to cook next week. I haven't planned my meals for next week yet, so I've got, we got a little chicken crunchy. That'll be for basil. Actually, no, that part will be here. these chicken capabilities. We could do chicken soup. We could do orange chicken with some of this chicken that we've got left over here. So we've got a lot of capabilities and some ideas and things we could do. So some kind of got to think about what we're going to do next Saturday. I know we've had a lot of requests for chicken stir fry. We can do that. We've also had some requests for desserts. I know we've had some requests for lemon poppy seed muffins. So that's definitely a possibility of what could be on the menu. Turn our heat back up a little bit more. It's definitely being a slow rise. So it's a process of getting it to where you want it to see, where you want it to be, as far as your oil temperature. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this chicken over for you guys to see. So you can see that lovely crunchy texture. It's so good. It's like, what? I didn't pull any breading off. What are you talking about? That never happened. So it's just a process, just sitting here, frying. Wish I could have some chill beats on. Drop my pocket. If it wasn't for the Twitch copyright laws, I just want to sit here and just literally just eat this chicken like right now as it's coming out, but that would just be so bad. That would be so bad. That would be not good. That would be not good. So now the oil is at 330. So I'm just patiently waiting. Anticipation is making me wait. I feel like I need a Jeopardy theme song. I should add the Jeopardy sound bits to my sound bits. Let the sound bits. Is sound bits even working? I need to add a free sound bit. Should add Jeopardy as a free sound bit. So that way I can have people test out sound bits. Because I'm not even sure. I tried to add a lot of things the other day when I was trying to amp up the stream and make it more fun. I tried to add sound bits and tip speak. But I think I conflicted that with having the squeaker for the tips bits, so I have to look into it a little bit more. But I'm trying. She needs her snack. Basil has not had her snack. So yeah, let's do that while we're waiting. Let me do this and turn the screen around real quick. Basil! She says, feed me. You hungry? You hungry? She says, I want my pumpkin. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I gotta go get her pumpkin. I'll be right back. So while our oil heats, I'll let you guys listen to my elevator music, because it's fun. You skeerball! You skeerball! Okay. So Basil gets pumpkin with her snack every night. That's what we call it. Call it her snack. Opening it the wrong way. Yeah, I bet a lot of you didn't know. You could open a can this way. course, I messed it up. That's okay. So that it becomes a lid. All you have to do is just turn your can opener instead of opening it like this. Just pop it on top and turn it this way. That's all. Most people don't know that. They think they have to have a special can opener. They don't. Just turn it differently. Alright, buddy. Give me a second. I'm going to bend the edges because Mommy's stupid and tried to start opening it the wrong way. Alright. She gets a spoonful of pumpkin. Because you're spoiled! Because she needs to poop. Here, lick the spoon. Come here and lick the spoon. Come here. Come here, lick the spoon. Lick it. Now lick that spoon. Lick that spoon. He says, I just got pumpkin in my bed. Thanks, Mom. I just got more pumpkin in my bed. It's right here. The pumpkin. Come here. That pumpkin in your bed. Right here. You gotta throw this bed away anyway. So when I bought this bed for her, it was super fluffy. And then it like got all matted when it went through the washing machine. Not good. She got her toenails caught. So I sent Chewy, company I purchased her food and everything from, a message. And they said, we're so sorry, and they refunded me. And I was just leaving like a review on her food. Not her food. I was leaving a review on her bed. And I was just amazed. Like, I was just leaving a review, and they were just like, oh, hey, by the way, here's a refund. And throw the bed away. Don't even worry about shipping it to us. And I was just kind of like, oh, geez. Thanks. That was actually really nice of you guys. So, yeah, she'll be getting a new bed. Alright. I gotta put your pumpkin in the fridge. Gotta put your pumpkin in the fridge. Is the oil warm? Yes. The oil is warm. Now we can fry more chicken. Woo! Alright. Pumpkin. In fridge. Now I need you. Back to the oil. Woo! This is why you watch how high you fill your pots with oil, because it can bubble up. It's important. Got these two more pieces. Then we'll do some fries, and we'll call it a night. Sizzle. Sizzle. A big piece of chicken. What? Those ones are real big, so we might use those on some sandwiches. We might actually save those two for lunch tomorrow. We could be having a lot of fried chicken. Fried chicken sandwiches tomorrow. Maybe we'll do fried chicken sandwich. Maybe I'll have a fried chicken sandwich tonight. I don't know. That sounds good to me, actually. Might make me a brioche bun with some chicken sandwich. You might like that too. Put that on a sandwich tonight.
Yummy. We've got barbecue sauce, we've got honey mustard, we've got pickles. We've got all kinds of things to do, however, there's different places to do them. That oil was real hot on that one. So we might have to do a double fry on that. Let's see. Phew, that was only a minute. We'll check on those. Alright, last 2 pieces. Actually, those big ones, what we can do is because we put those in, we can take those 2 pieces and we can put them in the freezer. And what we can do is we can freeze them and then we can do our oven tomorrow, pull them out for 350 and cook them for 25 minutes and flip them halfway through. And then we can heat them up that way. You are just trotting around out there, Basil. I just see her. She went across my little viewpoint between the little door of the basement and the pantry door, little closet door, and I just see trot, 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 trot. She looked like the little swimming corgi emoji. What are you doing? What are you doing, Corgi? What are you doing, little Corgo? What are you doing, little Corgo? What are you doing? You're just a cutie patootie. You're just a cutie patootie. Yeah, you are. Ooh, no! No jumping! No! No jumping! No, that's bad. Jumping is bad. You need medicine. She's got a bad back. If I wasn't using tongs, I'd have to wash my hands. Oh, Basil. Basil, Basil, Basil. What am I going to do with you, doggo? Fried chicken is delicious. She keeps running in here, smelling it. She runs in and sniffs the air. Says, Mommy, that fried chicken smells good. Oh. She's there. A little bit longer. So we'll save, Ted will have those 3 pieces. We'll save those 2 for tomorrow. And then these 2 that are cooking right now will be mine for tonight. And then I'll cook these french fries. And we'll have some chicken. We'll have chicken sandwiches for lunch tomorrow. It'll be wonderful. I know, Mom. I wish you were close enough. If you guys came over, we could all eat the chicken tonight. Y'all could come over for lunch tomorrow. It's just 3 hours. Technically. I know, but y'all don't need to be driving that long with Dad. You know. I miss you guys. I miss all my family. I wish everybody was closer. Alright. Beautiful, golden, and delicious. Alright. That chicken looks nummy. Nummy, 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 nummy. Alright. For some of you folks that I know are going to tune out as soon as they see chicken's done, they're going to be like, alright, chicken's done, I'm out. Here is the lovely, delicious fried chicken. Lighting's not the best right now, but trying to give you guys some good lighting. Let's see if we can do this lighting over here, maybe. Chicken. Chicken good. Gotta love fried chicken. Fried chicken is delicious, not nutritious. Soon. Very soon. Yes, indeed, Mama. Indeed, Mama. Basil heard me crunch, and she came running. No. See, I get the extra breading pieces. I'm the chef. I'm the chef in my kitchen. Alright. We're going to let that oil rise up a little bit. Ooh, got a little bit of hangnail there. Excuse me just a second. You just dropped around. She said, give me the chicken! Give me the chicken! I want to redeem Tiny Table. So I had probably considered doing a little points redeem in the bottom corner there, which, Mom, you're now a subscriber because of Morph, so you now earn cookie points. Isn't that exciting, Mom? After you get so many points, you can redeem these things, like where you say, hey, I want to earn this, or I want to see you feed Basil a treat. We thought about doing, I talked to Ted, tiny table, Basil's tiny table, where we literally make a tiny table for Basil, and we make a tiny meal for Basil during the stream. While I'm cooking, somebody redeems their points, only one redemption during the stream, and Basil gets a meal. So like today we're having fried chicken, Basil would have gotten some fried chicken. She would have gotten a tiny little chicken nugget. We did that the other day at home, and it was just too funny. Like, we make it appropriate, obviously, take out whatever things that could be harmful to her. We're not going to, serve her onions or anything, obviously. So we would make sure that it is dog appropriate. Oh no, that Skeeter is on you! Oh, I saw him! Oh, I got him! Yes! Mosquito redemption. Oh, my redemption, mosquito dead. Say, Mommy got it! Mommy finally got it! We've had a mosquito that's been following me and her around all day. Finally got the mosquito, yay! Okay, our oil's warmed back up. We're gonna make some Frenchie fries. Put this over here for a second. Just give me a handful. Drop them down in. 4 minutes. You're fine. And you can do a double fry, or you can do a flash fry. These ones were flash cooked, so they fried once, put in a bag, so really they only need to be fried one more time. But I am so ready to eat this chicken. And I cannot wait for my parents to visit me soon. I will make waffles. I will make whatever food they want. I'm excited. I can barely contain my excitement because I miss them. Yay. We got 4 of you guys in here, so it's probably Mom. Morph's got me tabbed. Debbie's got me tabbed. I wonder who else is here. Hello, other person. I don't know who you are, but welcome. I hope you're enjoying the channel and fried chicken. Because it's delicious. And not nutritious. But it's still delicious. I forgot to tell Uncle Danny I was streaming today. Whoops. I usually send him a text message every day. If he would follow me on Twitter or other places, that would be helpful. I just forgot to send him a text. I told him I was going to stream making fried chicken, but I forgot to tell him what time. But he can always go back and watch the video. So there is that. Give these a little bit of a stir. We're just about ready to call it, folks. We are just about there. We're going to pull these fries out, plate ourselves up some chicken, get our nice little dipping cup, because Ted's going to want barbecue. He always wants barbecue. We are getting low. I would say that is pretty much empty, my friends. He forgot to turn it upside down. So now I get to spend a while it waits, sitting upside down to get dips off. That or I have to make it some. I'm afraid I'm gonna bump into this every time I turn. Like, I know it's there, but I'm like, that is a camera handle. So definitely, check out our Discord, guys. Check out our Instagram. Check out our YouTube channel. If you ever miss one of our videos on Twitch, you can always find it on YouTube. I upload them every week. I still need to upload last week's one, but I will have it uploaded by hopefully tomorrow. We do post recipes. Everything I cook on this channel, there's a recipe for it in our Discord under recipes. So make sure you definitely check out our Discord channel. If you want to know what it is, just do an !Discord. Alright. Those fries look good. So we're just going to go ahead and pull them out. Let some of that oil drip off. I wonder how many times I've had to pull this because my laptop's on a lazy Susan, so it slowly likes to pull over. And I always get a fry or two caught behind the thermometer. If you're ever cooking with a thermometer, make sure you check behind it. It's more than likely you've had something slide behind it. Alright. We're going to season ours with some seasoning salt. Because that's how Ted likes it. He likes the seasoning salt. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this to kind of gently toss them. Right. Put on a plate. Hot fries. Very hot fries. Okay. Get the cheese on. That's the wrong one. We got some lovely fried chicken and fries. Bye, Mom. I've loved having you guys here with me today. I'm glad that you guys were able to join me. Me and Ted are going to go eat this fried chicken, and we are going to enjoy every little piece of it. So I hope you guys had a great time today. Please make sure to follow us on our socials, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. They're right over here. Make sure to follow me, CorgiMom. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.